anticlimactic TBR Stack update for you. This is a project I started back in 2020, and I didn't really get through much of it, but I was still excited about the project, so I wanted to keep going. And in this project, I have a stack of books, and I have to go through them in order, and I can either DNF or just set it aside. And so I have to go through in order, and it helps me kind of make progress through the books on my shelves. I like that it's a tangible project. Sorry, I was just eating some crackers, and so I'm recovering from that. Okay. So, like I said, it's a very anticlimactic update for you with a couple really good ones in there. So firstly was Island Magic by Elizabeth Goudge. If you watched my favorite books of 2020 video, this will not come as a surprise to you that I read this. I loved this book so much. It was so excellent. And I do think now, if you want to read Elizabeth Goudge, this is a great place to start. It is about a family that lives off the coast of France, and it is just this little glimpse into their lives in a very interesting time to be watching this island. It starts out where there is a shipwreck, and some people are rescued and come to live on the island. And also, this family, what I love is that there are, I think it's 5 kids in the family, and they each have distinct personalities, and they all stand out on their own. And it's really sweet how you get to see their uniqueness in the midst of this family. There's just such beautiful writing with Elizabeth Goudge. And when was this one published? 1934? Yes, 1934. So it was just really, really beautifully written, as always with Elizabeth Goudge. Just this dreamy kind of rosy glow quality, seeing the world a little bit maybe ideally, but also not being afraid to grapple with pain. I don't know. There's just seeing the magic in the everyday. And there are, it is called Island Magic. So there are these like hints and whispers of magic, but not any overt magic. It's a really special, unique quality to her books that I really love. And then we get to a lot of disappointments. I'm in a very specific reading mood this year, and I'm trying to not let it disappoint me too much because I'm reading a lot. I'm enjoying so many books. But I am not feeling in the mood for modern classics. And I'm just trying not to let that disappoint me too much because I consider it one of my favorite genres. I'm just trying to ride out the mood that I'm in and being okay with that. And so I'm having fun reading, disappointed. I'm not in the mood for these. I was not in the mood for Diary of a Provincial Lady, and I was so excited about this one. I don't know if it's her writing style. I think it's that just not what I'm in the mood for right now. So had to set this one down. Fraulein Schmidt and Mr. Anstruther is letters. But I did not realize going into this, you're not getting letters back and forth. You're just getting letters from one character. And the sense that I got from what I did read of this is that this character, Fraulein Schmidt, is really neurotic, like maybe a little crazy. And I just did not feel like reading a whole book where the only voice you're hearing is the voice of someone who is, their mental faculties are not altogether there. It would just be really claustrophobic feeling. She just seems like a very obsessive character. I did not want to spend an entire book just with her. So maybe I'll read it at another point. I don't know if I want to though, honestly. And then I was sad to not be in the mood for One of Ours or A Lost Lady by Willa Cather. I've really enjoyed some Willa Cather. I really liked. What was the one that I read by her last year? It escapes me right now. Song of a Lark. That's what it was. Just now wasn't the right time for these. So I'm comforting myself. I own them. I can come back to them if I want to. I agonized over Lucia in London and Mapp in Lucia. But I just kept forcing myself to read it. And then if I wasn't letting myself read any other books, I would just avoid reading. I don't know what my problem is. I don't know what my issue is. But I'm reading lots of other books. So that's the downside to this kind of project, the TBR Stack project, is that it's discouraging if you're not in the mood for them. So I'm hoping if they just sit on my shelves all on their own, that I'll come to them at another point. I'm still happy that I own most of these. But then a bright spot, and I read this I think the end of October, and that is The Silver Well by Kate Forsyth and Kim Wilkins. This is a group of fairy tale retellings. How many fairy tale retellings is it? Or not fairy tale retellings, just stories. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 stories in here. And I really enjoyed 6 of the 8 stories, which is unusual for me for short story collections. I think also I need to try more genre short story collections. What has happened is I've tried just general short story collections, and I am very hit or miss with modern literary fiction. And so this really worked for me. The one that I really, really liked, I think it was The Cunning Woman's Daughter, turned into this sort of like murder mystery, and you're following someone detecting things because someone has been falsely accused of something. I love the range of times that they were set. March 2017, August 1944, December 1853, November 1645, July 1540, May 999, autumn 44 AD, and then there's an epilogue. And what I thought was just really beautiful about this is that each story has a wishing well tied into it somehow. Some of them, it's really subtle. Some of them, it's a really big deal. It's like the focal point of the story, but just really clever. They were able to do a whole collection with stories featuring the wishing well somehow. And Kate Forsyth, I had read The Beast's Garden and Pre-Raphaelite Story, and really enjoyed those. So it was neat to read this, and I'm looking forward to, I own another Kate Forsyth book, and so hopefully we'll get to that at some point. So that was my very anticlimactic update. I'm just trying to ride it out. I'm having a very good reading year, but different than other reading years. But that is, as a reader, like, you just sometimes can't predict what you're going to be in the mood for. So it's okay. It's okay. This is like the year of DNFing. I've probably DNF'd like 20 books so far this year, but I've also read close to 30 books. So I think it's okay. I think it's very odd. So I wanted to show you the next 6 books that are in the TBR stack. I like to do these in series of 6. I don't know why. First is News of the World by Paulette Jiles. There is an audiobook through Overdrive, but because the movie is coming out or has just recently come out, this is in really high demand. So I'll be reading the physical copy of this. It is not a long book. It's not even 200 pages. So if I like it, that will not feel like a lot. So maybe a more modern book I'll do better with. We'll see. It's about a town crier. That's all I know. And then we have a Persephone book called Greenery Street by Denis Mackail, and it's about a married couple and the early years of their marriage. This is supposed to be a more cheerful Persephone, so I definitely want to read it. And then finally, maybe I'll read Eudora Welty's Delta Wedding. The title is pretty explanatory as to what the plot is. This Southern family having a wedding and lots of people gathering for the wedding. And modern classic that I really, really hope I'm in the mood for, because I've wanted to read Elizabeth Taylor for so long now, Mrs. Palfrey at the Claremont. And I know Lil from Lil's Vintage World has really loved Elizabeth Taylor and has now read all of her books. So I want to love Elizabeth Taylor too. I want to be in the Elizabeth Taylor club. I think I have a good feeling about this Susanna Kearsley in the stack. Belleweather. There's a captured French-Canadian lieutenant, and he is billeted with a Long Island family. Legend has it that the forbidden love between the lieutenant and the daughter of the house ended tragically. But centuries later, the clues they left behind slowly unveil the true story. Sounds very interesting. Forbidden love, tragic love. And then an Angela Thirkell, Northbridge Rectory. I've heard kind of mixed things about this one in the series, but it's the next one as far as through her Barsetshire series. So we'll see what I think of this. So I hope you enjoyed my weird update. Hopefully I'll be back to report more successes next time and get more books read off my shelves. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon. Bye.